Most white belts suffer from depression. And 80% of them, it's because they cannot keep people in their guard. Today, I want to work with you ways to work on your guard retention so people are not constantly passing your guard, landing on your side control, and submitting you very fast. So the key for guard retention is to understand one simple rule. For the most, you want your knees and feet pointing directly to your opponent. Every time that this is not happening, you want to turn on a yellow light. And the biggest thing about guard retention, and understand this simple concept, you want for as long as possible to always have your knees and feet pointing to your opponent. Every time that this is not happening, you're endangered. So every time that they get on your side and their knees are pointing away, you basically don't have guard anymore. There are strategies to work with from here, but we definitely want to avoid these situations and keep on putting the opponent back in front of our feet and knees. The other thing that it's very important for you to understand about guard retention is that the further your elbows are from your body, the harder it is to keep your opponent to get into pins. So for example, in this same situation, if Jared had his feet on the ground, you see how far the elbows are from the knees. Nothing stops me to jump over and go straight away to mount. So your default position, it's always having your knees close to your elbows. They can be touching, especially if they're putting pressure on you, but the simple fact of keeping them close already gonna help you with your guard retention. Now let's get to the core of it. Your opponent will gonna try to pass from side to side. That's their job. And your job, it's when that happens, bring your legs in front of them as fast as possible. So to start, let's see 3 distance here that you want to cover as they are trying to pass. So if they make connections on your lower body, they're gonna start to flank you to one side or the other. As this happens, as soon as possible, you want to, as they release your leg, to step on them and just recover. And you can start training this just like that with your training partner, moving a little bit and recover, moving a little bit and recover. This is gonna give you the hip mobility and the muscle memory to always keeping them in front of their legs. The next step from that, it's covering a bigger distance. So now your training partner gonna be stepping a bit further away from you. When these things happen, you see like there is more space to cover. Make sure that when they release the leg, you use that leg to step anywhere on the training partner and just recover. So they move, they cover a little bit more distance, you step and recover, trying to finish with feet and knees pointing to your opponent. And the third one, it's when they go all the way behind you. A very common pass nowadays is trying to go straight away to your side control. So a very common pass today is not passing directly to side control, but going to north-south. So situations like this will happen because now they want to force going there. Hands are gonna block them and you're gonna start to throw legs. If you have distance, we cross legs and then we start to spin. The case if it is like a little bit more like a knee scenario, you're gonna use your knees, but the process kind of the same. You want to circle from there and recover guard. Very valuable, again, the detail that we saw in the beginning, which is keeping the elbows close to the knees. A term popularized by Danaher was the J point. He referred this as the jeopardy point. It's like the place that you don't want your opponent to be. So if your opponent is able to get anywhere from your hip to your lat with their leg as they're passing, it's gonna get harder for you to be able to recover. So let's say that I'm passing the guard here and I'm able to step to that J point. Now, even if Jared wants to bring the legs back, it's a hard task. And I'm very close to drop my knee on his belly or go straight away to side control. To avoid that, we need to understand how to use the frames, to use our hands and elbows to stop the opponent on their tracks, at least momentarily, so we can recover the guard. This entire space here needs to be covered by the range of your arms. So your opponent should never get closer than this to you. So as they're stepping, let's say I'm stepping the foot close to him, he's gonna always stop me on his hand. And here you really need to trust the power of your frames, because I cannot get closer to this from this position. Look at this. If I start to push Jared, I'm just gonna like circle, but I'm never gonna get close to him. And then eventually he's gonna be able to pummel his leg in and recover. And even if I'm using more like my upper body getting close, it's the same thing. I cannot get close to Jared here, and the moment that I let it go the lower body, the guard can be recovered. So your frames and your side posture are essential for you to keep them in a position that you still can recover the leg. It's still on the framing, we gotta also understand how to do the self-framing, the frame that we're gonna use our own body. If you look Lachlan Giles, for example, it's a guy that used this a lot on his guard retention. So one of the passes that your opponent is gonna try to do on you in these positions here, it's trying to throw by. So they throw so they can spin you and get on your flank. And this is only possible because you don't have any connections with them. They are away from you trying to throw the leg. Situations like this, we want to use self-frame. So I like to start using hands on the knees like this. So this gives an initial resistance for my opponent. And every time that they throw, look what happened. The elbow drops on the ground. And now the hand of Jared is blocking his knee to go any further than this. The interesting thing is that this stops on this side, but if he keeps the leg heavy on the other, it also stops on the other side. And as I'm trying to get on side control on Jared, he can use a frame and recover. This happens really fast, so that's why I like to start with the hand on the knee. So as soon as they throw, you can block. So usually happens on the opposite side. So if they're throwing the legs to the left, you're blocking on that side, keeping your elbow on the ground and not allowing them to go any further than this. Again, trust your structure. As long as they are keeping the grip on the legs, don't try to recover, but when they let it go, just throw your leg and put them back into the game. If you put these things together, your guard retention is gonna work way better and you're gonna be able to hold people in your guard. This is the first step for you to start to build your guard game and also be dangerous from the bottom. And if you enjoyed this video, I'm sure that you're also gonna enjoy this next one.